All right, Luca Nation.
All right.
738 of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze. Maybe we'll talk a little MLB. I'm coming in here with one topic, very niche, very specific, and it's this. Just like that, DeAndre Ayton's career and cardboard relevance has plummeted. Do you agree or
did he get
disagree?
traded to Minnesota too?
Huh?
Did he get traded to Minnesota too?
No, he accepted Indiana Pacers' offer. Who got traded to Minnesota?
I'm just saying that's where cardboard goes to die.
Well, if Minnesota's the place it goes to die, Indiana's like the kissing cousin of Minnesota.
I mean, yeah, Indiana's a nice team. We got some young pieces in there, right? No, huh?
Purgatory. It's the middle of the pack. It's not enough to win, and
you're saying just sell your Halliburton immediately.
Dude, I don't think. Do you know how much? So, guys, I got this. I actually have the Halliburton right here. I think Halliburton he doesn't sell for anything anymore.
Be careful with Halliburton; they'll turn you into a bird. Do you know what that's from?
It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
No, Ian tells me this all the time. Every time I say Halliburton, he says they'll turn you into a bird. It's from an American Dad episode. You know, the cartoon, the adult cartoons that I probably shouldn't have been letting Ian watch when he was 5. But it is what it is.
Ian was always an old soul, in my opinion.
You know what's funny, dude? You are right. And better than right, you are now a hobbyist with a hobbyist take. Because sports betting is one thing. Watching the games, bro, is an entirely different thing. And T-shirts, patent pending, trademark in the works for do you watch the game, bro? Andrew he's going to cash in on that at some point in time. It took
that's going to be my catch me outside.
Catch me outside, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, it took Pat Riley a while to cash in on three-peat. It's going to take you a little while, but you're going to be patient on this. But the point here is, Ayton, he may have better numbers there.
I think he will.
Exactly, but you're not saying. He's going to Indiana. His career is over. You're saying his cardboard relevance just took a huge hit. And you're able to say that from watching a guy like Domantas Sabonis, who checks all the boxes. Checks all the boxes. But who's buying Domantas Sabonis cards?
People couldn't give away Domantas Sabonis golds for any gold was selling for thousands of bucks. I remember seeing the Domantas Sabonis cards that I was like, this guy's an all-star, double machine. He's well-liked. Nothing. And it's just interesting because the hobby's finicky, and I think the hobby hates average too, right? Like this kind of middle-of-the-pack teams and taking a step down from being a finals contender. So think about it. The Suns went to the finals, just a little bit missed out. Game 7, lost to the Mavs, so they never got to play the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. And now the Suns have the option to accept that offer. I think they have 48 hours. He's a restricted free agent. But if anything was if I'm kind of picking up on the narrative, they were at ends. They didn't want each other. I think right after the season, Ayton wanted to get out. So here he goes, underachieve, goes into a team that's middle of the pack. Maybe they make the playoffs next year. No one knows. I think it's really interesting. And Ayton was pretty heavily invested in. It's not like people weren't putting money into him.
Yeah. And then he was a dancer, right? He dances a lot, His videos of Ayton dancing all over the place. He's going to dance his way to Indiana. I mean, is there a sign and trade? Does this open up money for them to sign somebody now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you think it's a Durant kind of thing?
I don't know who goes there, but it definitely opens up money for them because it's money that they didn't pay him.
But I mean, isn't it one of those things though where you have to have matching contracts, take it off the books, take it on the books, like that kind of stuff, right? Trading wise. I mean, and let's take it down the road. Do you think Durant going to Phoenix, what does that do for Phoenix and what does that do for Durant?
They don't have a big man. So it doesn't really solve that need, right? Because I think JaVale McGee just went to the Mavs too, so it's not they don't have anyone there. The Suns are only a few pieces away, Cage. I think Durant to the Suns would be fascinating. I think it'd be very fascinating. I don't really have much of a take because the roster's not set. They still need a big man, but I think it's a very interesting roster. Chris Paul, CP3, and Durant. That's tough. That's a tough cover.
I mean, I would consider if I were him because there's a lot of positive sentiment around CP3 at the end of his career to get him a ring. You know what I mean? That he and you know, could it be viewed favorably if Durant goes there and is the one that helps him get over the top? It also is helpful from a narrative perspective for Durant because no matter what Chris Paul does, he can't get there himself. So it would be Durant would be the piece that got him there. Durant can claim it's because of him that they won it. You know what I mean? Whereas going to like the Suns, as we talked about, you know, that's the exact opposite. You know, even going to someplace like, and this isn't going to happen, but going to someplace like Dallas, let's say, right? You know, I don't think Durant would get as much credit for that because people would just be like, all right, well, this was the next progression for Luka. He was going to make the finals. He was going to win. He was going to, you know, I mean, you look how good he did. He would have done this without Durant. Whereas the Suns took kind of a step backwards. You know, Chris Paul is continuously knocking on the door, but not getting it. So, I mean, if I were a Durant holder, I would probably think that's like a dream scenario for him other than staying in Brooklyn and winning a championship there.
It gets me thinking. It's not one piece. It's two things, right? It's the first thing with the first move is, are you going to a place where there's cardboard relevance opportunity, right? Like Durant went from the Warriors to the Nets, and there was cardboard relevance opportunity. Can he win on his own? If he does, that's going to improve his card values. If he doesn't, that's going to decrease. But there's the opportunity there. With Ayton, if we just talked about it, he doesn't even have opportunity. He's not going to be the leader of that team. He's not going to lead them to the final. So he took any opportunity he had for cardboard relevance with the Sun and squashed it. But if Durant does go to the Suns, he has opportunity. Now, if he goes there and they underperform again, that opportunity is squandered. But it's the opportunity plus the execution. I think it's a multifaceted. It's both of those need to come together. And when they do, that's when you see card values go up. You see LeBron go to the bubble, go to the Lakers and win. Opportunity, win. You see Durant leave the Warriors have an opportunity, they win, Curry's values go up. So it's that's kind of how I think about it. But I saw Ayton accepted that Pacers offer. I felt bad because I like the Pacers. I like Duarte. Miles Turner is good. They always have good players. It's not like they're a bottom feeder team. But they're not there. They're not there.
All right. I mean, there are a handful of teams that you could say are there or could be there. There are a handful of teams that, you know, with a move or two could get there. You know, if this is it for the Pacers, you can pretty comfortably say they're not there and they're not getting there. You know, if they were, you know, adding another huge piece, like if they got Ayton and then we're trading draft picks for Donovan Mitchell, all right, maybe it's a little bit of a different story. You know, I mean, I could hear that. I still don't know that's enough because Ayton didn't win with Chris Paul and Booker. Right. So, you know, it's still one of those, you know, things. But it is what it is.
That's a great example. I mean, Mitchell to the Knicks, right? I want to ask you about baseball because we're kind of heading into that period of time in the baseball season when you're locked in. You have these projections, and I don't want to put you on the spot, so we could do its own episode. But with Mitchell going to the Knicks, that doesn't mean he's going to be successful. But now he has opportunity to take whatever cardboard relevance he had and build upon it. And I don't think if he goes to the Knicks, they need to even make the finals. I think they make the playoffs and they make a nice run. Honestly, I think Mitchell having some game winners for that Knicks team would be enough for his cardboard relevance.
Him going there, huge amount of relevance, 100%. And I was reading a lot of commentary on Twitter today about how, like, don't do this. Don't just trade your whole team and draft picks and whatever, because then you're just repeating the Carmelo thing that you guys did, which ultimately Carmelo Anthony did not win a championship. But the Carmelo Anthony Knicks were the best Knicks team in the last 2 decades. So you're not getting that now with the team currently situated. Bringing Donovan Mitchell is an improvement. Now, would I try to find a way to do it without also giving up RJ Barrett and making sure that the Barrett-Mitchell backcourt, you know, that's intact? Sure, because I think somebody like Barrett, who is not a star, that is not me saying Barrett shouldn't be traded. You guys know my take on Barrett. Force him to go left, and he becomes very pedestrian. This is Barrett. This is go right. Excuse me, he always goes left. Force him to go right. He's pedestrian. I don't think he's a star, but you bring Mitchell in there. Between him and Randall, they're going to spend 22 and a half seconds of the shot clock just pounding the ball into the wood. Find Barrett in the corner and let him shoot. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I expect from the Knicks. But I don't care about draft picks. Go ahead and get rid of them. Because the Knicks, they find a way to mess up draft picks. Anyway, it doesn't matter if they have a good draft pick. They will find a way to screw it up. So if you're, you got a way to kind of put in a lineup there where, fine, lose quickly, lose Obi Toppin. You're not playing those guys anyway. You know what I mean? Lose some draft picks. You could have a decent rotation there with that backcourt, whether Randall stays or goes. I mean, they have some crappy contracts that they can move to match Mitchell's money. They definitely do. So
Knicks have no shortage of crappy contracts. Luka Nation, real quick. So you guys, a lot of you have joined me on the Whatnot show. It's if any of you guys help me out, help me help you is kind of the message here.
Help me help you.
If any of you guys, if this is leading up to national, you have questions about, where you guys are going to be, what's your plans, okay? Cigar night, what's the kind of the MO, what we're doing, questions about Whatnot, questions about the podcast, whatever it is, help me out. Shoot me an email. I think I want to consolidate all of our messages, whether that's Discord, our Luka Tiger Instagram, my personal Instagram. I think if we just use I am Andrew Goldberg, yes, Andrew Goldberg at gmail.com was taken. So I am Andrew Goldberg at gmail.com. If we use one location, it makes it easier for you guys and us. So if you guys have any questions ever, just shoot me an email. I'll get back to everybody within 24 to 48 hours. And that's something I've been thinking a lot about. Instead of having messages floating in the ether all over the place, let's get it in one centralized location so I could get back to you and have a little bit of a system. So that's just a little announcement for you guys. People wanting to buy Tigers, we always love the support. We appreciate the support. We're almost at 400 sold, which is crazy. Just know we love you guys no matter what. If you don't ever buy Tiger, nothing changes for you. But if you do, amazing. And no, you cannot buy a Tiger and get into Cigar Night for this year. But it's the same equation that happened last September, last December, last February. We're always going to try to layer on more and more and more value. So whether that's Cigar Night in 2023, whether that's a kind of an impromptu event at East Coast National, whether that's a little bit of like a mail day, who knows what we do. Don't think like Cigar Night is the end of what we do with the Tigers. Feel free to buy in now and see kind of what the future holds. It's a lifetime pass. So those are the two little announcements I wanted to make.
We're not going anywhere. So, this is the
Except
people
we're
yeah, exactly. We are thankful for the folks who have bought in. I would think the vast majority of the people who bought in have gotten value out of it, and the value will continue. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those you won't be sorry kind of things. And yeah, I mean, listen, if you are a Tiger holder and you did not get to make Cigar Night this time around because you're not coming in on Wednesday, you're coming in on Thursday, you're coming in Friday or Saturday, whatever it is. That does not mean you can't send me a message. You can still send Cage Lawyer, on Instagram. I answer all my stuff. Andrew gets way more than me. He's a much bigger celebrity, especially now with his Whatnot fame. Forget about it. But send me a message and I'll have cigars. I can show you. I got 150 cigars delivered today. Today, I'm getting more and more. Trust me, cigar.
What's a better mail day, Cage? When you bought your two LeBrons or the Tigers?
Tigers.
Tigers.
Tigers. Listen, this is the first year. We're still in our first year of this NFT.
Crazy.
You can spend the next 5 minutes talking about all the stuff that we've done, right? And what we're going to continue to do. So I know NFTs are not in vogue now, but because of that, you get one pretty darn cheap, pretty inexpensively, like $70 right now. And, I mean, I don't know how long it'll stay that way. And if people are minting them, that's an interesting thing too, because there's cool ones, man. No one has pulled the Ian Pulls Fire yet, where I'm going to have Ian open you a box of cards and on live. I mean, there's some fun
Talk
stuff.
to people about that one, because I
Yeah,
don't think
I mean-
everyone even knows all the designs we put into it, and it's all randomized, right? So
Yeah.
we made 10,000 of them, but there's
Because
some
you
that
bought
have
Gary
never-
V's book. We have ones that if you pull holding Gary V's book, you get Gary V's book. We'll send you Gary V's book. There's ones like, there's a blonde one with like, he's holding fire in his hand with blue eyes, and that's Ian Pulls Fire. And there's 50 of those in there. I mean, you know, there's plenty of them in there, and that you get.
I would say that's the big hit, though. Think about that, right? So Ian Pulls Fire. We provide the hobby box for that, or not the hobby box retail? Do we even know what we're going to do for it?
A box.
A box.
I mean, I was gonna. Ian opens every Friday. He opens something, so we'll figure it out. We'll go live. Ian can open his box and a box for you. Maybe a box of whatever he's opening. We'll make sure we get 2 of, and you open it. It could be hobby, it could be baseball, it could be whatever the hell it is. I have no idea. We open everything. So, but yeah, there's that stuff in there. Anyway, I don't want to go too crazy into the NFT. If you're interested in it and have questions, please go ahead and send me a message. We love people who buy that stuff. If you want to, I am Andrew Goldberg, at Gmail. You have to do that because Andrew Goldberg was taken, but andrewgoldberg.eth is his. If you want to just send him free ETH, go right ahead. CageLawyer.eth, just send me some money. No, I'm just playing. Point being, if you didn't get in Cigar Night this time around, there will be plenty more. I know there's another Mint Collective, and I smoke cigars with a ton of people there. I know there's going to be more nationals. We'll probably have stuff at Bleecker. We'll probably have stuff all over the place, right? And we continue to have interest from hobby partners, hobby people who want to partner with us. And the conversation always goes the same way. It's, I appreciate the offer of money. Can we take less money and get something of value for our fans, for our Tiger holders, for what can we get, which is why we had 3 submissions from SGC and the whole deal. Anyway, enough of the NFT stuff. I know you guys didn't tune in to listen to that. You wanted to hear about Ayton losing his trade value. You wanted to hear about all that stuff. What are your questions about baseball? And then we can go from there. Or we could definitely do a second half preview episode.
Did you see Ohtani's stat line last night? Yeah. No one talked about it though.
Every time he starts, I bring him up. And I'm glad you did too.
Well, Lamim is amazing. I think Lamim is maybe the funniest human I've never met him, but I'm looking forward to it. I think he's coming to Cigar Night. He just he's so on it, and he has such a twist, but it's he was taking shots at some of the young prospects, and not taking shots. I think he was like, hey guys, there's a lot of money in Soto, Tatis, Vlad. I mean, he went, you guys could go look at his stories and what are these guys even doing? But then I started digging. I was like, but the one guy people should be investing in is Ohtani. But my question is it because of what he's doing is so unique? There's no one to even compare him to, which he's kind of floating on his own. And as a result, his card values haven't appreciated.
I think it's because, well, first he had some injuries, so that derailed the momentum thing.
Ohtani?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he missed a good part of a season.
This season?
No. But remember what I talk about with cards is they got to come out, have a good rookie year, and continue to build without any dip in your momentum. He came out at a time where everybody knew he was going to be a stud. Everybody knew he was this phenomenon. Not that what he's doing now, no one could have predicted that, but everybody knew he was going to do things that were amazing. And because of that, there were 1 billion of his cards made. Right? Different cards. There's so many Ohtani records. He may have the record for the most, cards of any specific player as a rookie, right? So that makes it tough to invest in him to begin with. Then he had an injury. And he came back, and last year he played obviously at MVP level. But here's where it gets a little weird. Last year he played at MVP level as a hitter. He was a better than average pitcher, sure. This year he's playing at an MVP pitcher level, and the hitting numbers are not there. So it's very weird. He's great as a hitter too. He's still a middle of the lineup, but he's not on pace for 60 home runs like he was last year. He's on pace for ridiculous Cy Young type of pitching numbers, but not the same offense. So people don't know what to do with him yet. And if he's going to turn into somebody who is a all-star caliber hitter, but a top-notch pitcher, that's amazing. People don't pay for pitchers. You know what I mean? People pay for mashers. People pay for home run hitters. So I think people would almost prefer him be a 40, 50 home run hitter every year and a serviceable pitcher than a stud pitcher and a very good hitter. You know what I mean? It's amazing what he's doing, and from a baseball perspective, it's crazy. From a fantasy perspective, it's crazy. From a WAR, like wins above replacement, it's almost immeasurable because
Right.
he has a different measurement than what everybody else has. But it's interesting stuff. It really is. From a hobby perspective, I think believe it or not, the pitching is actually a knock. And if he was just hitting, you wouldn't be investing in him. So it's very weird. It's very weird. I love the guy. What he's doing as a pitcher is amazing.
Can I tell you what I'm doing?
Cracking subs.
So that I'm doing that. That's a lot of fun. It is. But no, I've found a way to gamify our whatnot stream. And Luca Nation, you guys have to realize I sometimes I give away my best secrets. Like here I'm telling everyone about PWCC. Now I'm creating competition for my cheap slabs, right? There's only so many to go around. Well, here's another thing I've done on Whatnot Cage is after every sale, and not every sale, but the sales that I think have hype, people are excited for, the cards people love, I created this little giveaway box, okay? And I say, pick a number. Pick a number. And let's say you pick number, let's say 14. Cage is good.
I like it.
So,
the PSA 10.
It's
a giveaway.
And we throw in like slabs I get back, raw cards I get in. So it's been a fun way to kind of gamify Whatnot. And a lot of you guys out there, what's cool about our community is I don't think they just listen to us. I think they're also practitioners. A lot of them sell on Whatnot. It's ways to engage your audience and make it fun for them. Because I know that people listening also do giveaways and stuff like that. This has made it a lot more fun for people in the stream. So something that you guys could do too.
It's awesome. I mean, it's good stuff. I don't do it as often. I do a giveaway for every person who wins, but it was just only raw cards. It was like, okay, you get to pick.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what happens?
Well, that's how it started.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, it's good stuff. You know, sometimes people are buying cards and the giveaway is better than what they bought. And they realize they're like, I'm going to win this, and then I'm going to pick that, Kevin Durant game used jersey card or whatever it is. So it's fun stuff. You're right, and this is social selling, right? I mean, this is where we stand, right? This is the new dawn, the dawn of a new day. Social selling. I think Whatnot does a good job of it. So got a lot of commentary from people about the post that we had about me saying that the National is not for buying cards.
A lot of
it was split, really. It was like, yeah, it is, but just the right kind of cards.
Right.
Right. Go dollar box diving. It's great for like bargain shopping, buying lots, that kind of stuff. And a lot of people agreed. A lot of people were like, yeah, I mean, I'm going there. I don't even think about buying cards while I'm there because people want so much money. I'm going there to talk to people, meet people, say hi to people. It's more of like a trip, community get together for people who I only get to talk to on Instagram or Twitter and get to hang out and do some stuff, which, by the way, absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a cool thing too. A lot of people talk about how they were just bringing cards to trade them, so we'll see how that goes.
There's two apps that have come out in regards to that facilitate trading. We'll try to have both of them on at some point. I think one is Jay Lee founded. The other, I think, Bro Namath has some involvement in. I haven't spoken with either, so I don't want to kind of put my foot in my mouth. But something to kind of look into. Anything else, Cage? What have you been up to today? Like, how's your day going? I know I've never asked you that, but like, we haven't connected today. I packaged like 75 packages today, and it's shocking how long it takes.
So while we were recording, it just started to rain out of nowhere here. It looks like it already stopped. But I did not have my patio furniture, my backyard stuff covered, so that's all wet now. But it'll dry.
Now you can't smoke a cigar later unless you use 3 towels.
Yeah, I think it's gonna stop raining. I think it was just one of those quick. It opened up and maybe the sun will come back out. I'm gonna pay attention to that because I haven't got my son yet from camp, and he likes to stay there, but only if he could stay outside and play basketball and play sports. And if it's raining, he's probably gonna be like, "Come get me!" So that's that. And 2, I mean, listen. 738 episodes or whatever it is. We're about to start year 3 with our audience. I do share, my movie quotes. I share my, my story, share my life with you guys. I'll tell you, I'm I don't want to say I'm sad today, but
What?
I'm in a different headspace than I think I've maybe have ever been in because my daughter, who is 13 years old,
Stop it.
who I've never slept in this house without her here, is on a trip today for summer camp to she's on a trip, and it's a stayover trip. And so she'll be sleeping somewhere else tonight, and I have my phone and I'm like, text me every 5 minutes, but
You're melancholy. You're excited for her experience.
You know what it is? I'm a deep thinker, and this is, it's a good thing for a lot of reasons, right? It's a good thing, that she can now have a little bit of freedom and, show that we've done a good enough job instilling in her responsibilities that she, should earn more freedom and be able to, she's getting old, she's a teenager. So, and also me, college is right around the corner. So, if I can't deal with one night away, forget about it. I might as well just,
It's an experience for her, but it's an experience for you.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with Ian. Let's maybe watch some baseball. We'll see what's on TV. I think the Bob's Burger movie came out on Hulu, which I have. Maybe we'll watch that. They think that's funny. Maybe I'll take him out to see the Thor movie. I heard that was pretty terrible, but he wants to see it. But yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. But yeah, you asked. That's where my headspace is today. I'm a big man, but I'm not ashamed to say it. I miss my daughter.
I think that's what makes you a bigger man. I think that's why we have such a special audience. I got an awesome DM from a few people yesterday. We're like, hey, love what you guys do. You've given so much. How can I support? Or, hey, take a look at our the community you guys have built. And I think one part of the reason we were able to build the community is because you guys get to our heart and our mind, right? And two, in a lot of ways, we don't want to let you fuckers down. Some days I don't want to come on here, but I'm like, I know this guy, this girl, this dude. They all rely on us. They want us to put a show. They believe in us, and you don't want to kind of let your people down. So I appreciate those messages. I love you guys very much. They say Navy SEALs, when they go through Hell Week, they interview the SEALs, and they're like, the big tough guys, they drop out, and the college athletes, they drop out. But the people that make it through, they interview them and ask them, what made you, how did you get through? Because it's Hell Week. It's literally insane. They don't sleep. And they say, I didn't want to let my brother down. The guy to the right of me, the guy to the left of me. I didn't want to let him down.
Well, for me, it's all about the routines. My favorite messages that I get are people who say that we've become part of the hobby routine. And that it would be weird to be a participant in the hobby and not get an episode of us during the day. And I love that. I love it. I couldn't have done better. I give Andrew a lot of credit here. I know we got to bounce. But when we first started talking, it's 2 full years ago, because this was the week where podcasts were being talked about and the whole deal. I mean, we're days away from starting year 3 here. When I said to Andrew, maybe we should do this every day, we envisioned a 15 minutes. It was supposed to be 15 minutes. It wasn't supposed to be this long format every day. Some of our episodes are almost 2 hours long. We're not cheaping it out for you guys at all.
And if you guys out there haven't caught up, go to YouTube, search Luca Nation Network, and then search a keyword or a guest, because there's a lot of episodes. I bet you guys haven't listened because there's 738. So the best way to Google YouTube search engines are really good. Luca Nation, and then a guest or a topic or an idea. There's a lot of episodes out there.
Well, guys, listen, the theme, and we'll let you go here, is we want to say thank you. We want to make sure we're here for you guys, and the only reason we are here is because you're here. So if you missed out on cigar night, make sure you find me. Make sure you message me. I'll have a cigar for you one other night during the national. We will make sure that we see each other, hang out, you name it, at national. I'll be there the entire time. And beyond, right? And look, last year, national ended. Andrew had this great 10 for 10. Come on, talk about the national. It was a great idea. It was all his brainchild. We think you enjoyed that. Maybe we'll do it again. Maybe we'll bring it back. Or maybe we'll do something else. We want to do what you guys want. We want to put out the content you guys want to listen to and watch. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions, you see something, you see a business, you see a company, you see a trade, you see something done at national, leading up to national. Maybe you didn't make it and you saw it on Instagram and you want, more details about it. Send us a message because, we want to put out stuff that you want to, you want to consume, I guess, listen to and watch. Shoot.
I got to tell you, man, I had an idea because dude, so as you go through a process, you learn stuff that you didn't even realize you learned. Like with Whatnot, I had such an appreciation for breakers, not because of the actual opening of the cards. But think about it. I come home for an hour and I have all of these sales. They're on it for 7-8 hours a day. Imagine, it's just a different level of respect. So what I wanted to do was behind the break, like a 10 for 10 series, to interview 10 different breakers, guys that like Leighton, Vintage, Bullpen, Coffee Breakers, Backyard, whoever. Like I want to learn what it is like to run that business.
Yeah, or a little behind the scenes story, right? Like the guys who have to do the radio broadcast at the games. They're not allowed to get up. Do they just piss right there, right at the bar? Like what do you got to do? Are you able to tap out? Yeah, I wanted the behind the scenes, man. Inquiring minds want to know.
And dude, you could disagree with I don't love breaking, but you could also respect the effort, right? Like, man, that takes a lot of time. You always have to be on. You have to be on for a duration of time. So as I've been doing more Whatnot, I had a respect for breakers, even though we're doing just dollar singles.
There you go. Talk to you soon, Luka Nation.
Peace.